In 1836, a man played Victoria II. What follows is a retale of everything he did, and he did a lot. To begin with, he starts with the United States, a very fine choice in this time period. Immediately, he starts making reforms and pressing decisions that would allow him to continue growing the country. One of the first things he did after this was order the construction of a series of forts along all borders of the country. So after a lot of railway building, the treaties of Alaska, and even rampant militarization, the country was slowly starting to stabilize. So as comes natural to any player of this game, he immediately builds directly to his force limit. An army consisting of almost 50 divisions is then assembled, which would cause major lag spikes to anyone playing on the computer that this game was made for. Huh? Was this? An alliance offer for Mexico. This could be very useful in the future, as long as it doesn't interfere with the annexation of Texas. And so, in 1840, after passing the Fugitive Slave Act, Congress would later go on to pass the Kansas-Nebraska Act in the same year, officially establishing the Nebraska and Kansas territories. Everything had been going great, allegedly, between the overthrowing of the Mexican dictator down south and the signing of the Webster-Ashburton Treaty, which fixed Maine's borders. The 1840s were set to be a great decade. Or were they? You see, while all of this was happening, a rebellion was brewing. Made up of disgruntled political associates, slaves, and even regular ruffians. The revolt was made up almost as many divisions as the army currently had around the country. The exact cause is unknown, though it likely stemmed from political disenfranchisement and supposed lack of voter rights. Though no evidence of this can be found, a massive revolt still broke out, mainly in the Old Northwest in Ohio. Up to 30 divisions were sieging several provinces at one point. Almost immediately, the call was made to mobilize several hundred divisions to outnumber the rebels. These forces were then combined and then made into entire groups of armies, which had at least 100 divisions attached to them. As they marched, however, the rebels immediately started sieging the provinces even more. And by the time the several hundred armies had showed up to stop them, they had already taken full control of the province. Nonetheless, almost all of the battles during the war, or as it was later called the First Civil War, were all Union victories. Several notable generals even rose to fame during this period. Some of these generals include Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee. The outcome for most of these battles was relatively the same, but it was a very slow process considering the several groups of armies that were constantly moving around. Eventually, however, the Northeast was completely clear of rebels, though several smaller Union armies that were already located in the Northwest had been destroyed by the rebel armies. Through July and September of 1842, sporadic fighting broke out. Provinces that were sieged were slowly retaken by Union armies all across the Midwest. The last battle that was known of took place in November of 1842 in southern Ohio. This battle would effectively mark the end of the rebellion. By early mid-1843, the rebellion was over, but its political effects were not over. Knowing how this game is, it most certainly would not be the last rebellion to occur even within this decade, but staving off such a large rebellion meant one thing. It was probably going to be costly, and that the United States would have to be continuously mobilized all the time if it wanted to survive these rebellions. Knowing that the Civil War is coming up in just 20 years, this could be extremely bad.